Hi guys, so I'm here with my May and June combined wrap up, and for a total of 2 months I read 9 books for the total of the 2 months. And yeah, let's get started because I don't want this video to be ridiculously long. So the first book that I read is This Is War by Lisa and Laura Roker. I give this a 4.85, I think. Yeah, 4.85 out of 5 stars. I have all my ratings and stuff on this piece of paper back here on the wall, just so I can keep track of everything. But anyhow, I thought this book was really good, and I have a full review of this up, and I will leave a link right here. So click this book right here in this space area, and you can go watch my full review. But this is essentially about a girl named Willa who gets murdered, and everybody knows that the Gregory family is behind it, but everybody's too afraid to say anything because the Gregorys are above the law, and they would just get away with it anyway. And so the friends of the girl that got murdered band together and try to take down the Gregory family. So that's what this is about, and I highly recommend it. If you like the darker side of contemporary books, I definitely recommend this. It is definitely a really good read. The next book that I read is Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. This is Shakespeare's most popular comedy, and it says in the back that it's deeply controversial, but I don't really see, when I read it, I didn't really understand the controversy surrounding it. I don't know what makes it controversial. The back doesn't even say what makes it controversial, but anywho, it's really good. If you like Shakespeare and you like comedies, I'm not really sure how to describe it or explain it or anything, but it's really good, and I can understand why it's his most popular comedy. So if you like Shakespeare, I highly recommend giving this a read if you haven't already. And it's obviously really tiny, so I can get through it in probably like one sitting. The next book I read probably about that much, and I read about this much in May and finished the rest of it in June, and it's The Iron Child by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black, and I gave this obviously a 5 out of 5 stars. And again, you can click the book right here in this space to go see my full review of it, to hear my full thoughts and opinions. And yeah, this is about a boy named Callum Hunt who is doing these testing, has to go do these testings to see if he can go to the magisterium, and his father is really against that. So his father is like, fail the tests, fail to the best of your ability, just fail. And Callum fails bad, like really bad, like the worst failing ever. But he still gets chosen to go to the magisterium, and essentially it's just about him training and just the magisterium and stuff. And there's a big plot twist in it, and it is so good. I didn't even see the plot twist coming, and yeah, I need the Copper Gauntlet like right now. Yeah, these two authors, Holly Black and Cassandra Clare, are two of my favorite authors. I just started reading Holly Black this year, and for her to quickly become one of my favorite authors of all time, that is definitely saying something. But yeah, if you have not read this, go check it out. You need to read it. It is amazing. And the first full book that I completed in June, oh my gosh, cell phones. That was my cell phone. Anyway, the first full book that I read in June is The Declaration by Gemma Malley. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. And the reason I didn't give it a 5 out of 5 stars is that the writing just wasn't my thing. I didn't enjoy the writing of it. But other than that, I enjoyed everything else. I thought it was very unique to the dystopian world, or dystopian genre, I should say. Because it takes place in London. Or not really London. It takes place in England, but I think the characters go to London, if I can remember correctly. I don't remember if it says exactly what the town in England that they're in is, but it's around London. Anyway, rambling. Yeah, it's about the people. There's these people that they take these longevity drugs, and then they just can live forever, and they never get sick or anything like that. And so, and they're considered legal. And and then they sign this thing called the Declaration, and they are not allowed to have any children whatsoever, just because it would overpopulate the earth, and because everybody's just living forever and not dying. So having kids would just overpopulate the earth and take away all the resources and everything. But you can opt out of the Declaration, and if you opt out, you're allowed one child. But if you don't opt out and you have a child, they're considered a surplus, and they're sent to a surplus hall where they are trained to hate their parents for having them, because they shouldn't exist in the first place. And they're trained to kind of be like servants to the legals. Once they get to where they can be valuable assets, they are then taken to the home of a legal where they serve them and just do whatever the heck the legals say. And they can't say anything about it. They just have to do it. And yeah, that is a very, very sad world. But the main character is named Anna, and she is a perfect, which means she's on her way to becoming a valuable asset, and everything she just wants is to just be a valuable asset and help the illegal people. And then this boy comes along, and we all know what happens from there. Yeah, when a boy comes along, everything changes. And then, yeah, I don't really know what else I can tell you without spoiling things, but yeah, this cover is just absolutely beautiful. There's 2 more books in this, so gotta see what happens there. And I gotta hurry up with this because I still have more books to talk about. And next I read The Adventures of Pinocchio by C. Colati, and I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. It's just super cute. Read it in like one sitting. It's very, very tiny. And the writing is pretty big, and there's pictures on every other page. So I love the little artwork and everything. I love the story of Pinocchio. So yeah, I think everybody knows what the story of Pinocchio is. But yeah, it's just a really cute read. And yeah, if you've seen the movie of Pinocchio and you like children's classics, then I highly recommend giving this a read. Next I read Nightwing issue 1. And who's this by? Kyle Higgins, Jason Masters, Daniel Samperi, and Vincenti Cifuentes. Yeah. But yeah, I gave this a 4.9 out of 5 stars. And the reason I didn't give it a full 5 out of 5 stars is that I'm not a Batman person, so I don't really know anything. I don't keep up with anything in the Batman world. So I don't really know Nightwing's origin story. And all I know is that Dick Grayson used to be Robin, and then he became Nightwing. That's all I know. And so I was a little confused at the beginning of it, which is why I didn't give it a full 5 out of 5 stars. But I will continue on with the series in the New 52 editions. Yeah, this is the only way I can hold it without getting a humongous glare. But anyway, I really, really enjoyed this, and I look forward to picking up the following issues soon and reading more comics as well. And the next book that I read is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, book 1 in the Grisha trilogy. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars, and it is about this girl named Alina Starkov and her and her friend Mal are orphans, and then they go to they join the first army, and they are sent to go across this thing called the Fold, which is like pitch black darkness, and there's things called the Volcra, which is basically like evil people, bird things, and that will eat you and kill you, but yeah, the Volcra attack, and she is protecting Mal, and she sends off this light, and she is suspected of being a Grisha, so she's taken to the Darkling and taken back to the little palace where she trains to be a Grisha. And I really love this. I love the writing, I love the characters and everything about this, and I cannot wait to pick up Siege and Storm soon, hopefully. My voice is really bad because of allergies. And the last two books I read are Obsidian and Onyx by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And these are the first two books in the Lux series. I read them in bind-up form, and I'm just going to talk about the first book. I gave both books a 5 out of 5 stars. But essentially, it's about this girl named Katie, and she moves to this small town in West Virginia, and her neighbors just so happen to be aliens, of all things. And yeah, it's kind of about her being introduced into the world of the aliens, and I don't really know what to say without giving away spoilers, but yeah, I like the character of Damon. I like him a lot. He is an incredible character, even though he's a complete jerk face during a lot of it. I still really like him, and yeah. And I relate to Katie. She's a very relatable character. She's a reader and a book blogger, and yeah, she's very relatable. And I like the type of aliens that are in this book. It's very unique. I'm not going to tell you what they are because it's really cool to just read it and find out. But yeah, really good. Highly recommend it. And if you have the bind-ups, I recommend reading the bonus content in the back because you get Damon's point of view on certain scenes from Obsidian. And yeah, highly recommend this series. I cannot wait to pick up the last 3 books and finish it out. And yeah, so that is it for this video. Let me know down below what you have read during the months of May and June. And if you read anything that I have mentioned here, let me know what you thought of them down below as well. And also, if you want me to do a full review on any of these books that I have yet to do a review on, let me know about that as well, and I can totally do that. So that is it for this video. Till next time, bye!